Knock knock.
Who's there?
Possessive.
Possessive who?
Possessive pronouns, that's who.
That's lame.
Assalamu alaikum ya shabab. Today we're going to talk a little bit about possessive pronouns, or in Arabic, Dama'ir al-Malkiya. So what exactly are possessive pronouns? You're probably familiar with it in English. They simply denote ownership of something, right? And the possessive pronouns that we have in English are pretty straightforward, right? My, your, his, her, our, and their. And in English, you know, of course, they always come before the thing that is being owned, right? They precede the noun that is being owned. So how does this work in Arabic, right? It's quite different from our system. They actually use possessive suffixes that are sort of like attached to the end of the thing that's being owned, right? It's not actually a separate word, but a suffix. Okay, so let's start with just my, right? How do we do that? Well, you add the ya at the end of the word, right? So if we have a word like, say, zawj, what does zawj mean? That means husband, and you want to say my husband. You say zawj plus the e, plus the ya, it becomes zawji, right? And just to use it in a sentence, zawji yadrus al-handasa fil jamia, right? My husband studies engineering in the university, right? So let's do my, but with another word, just another example. Sadiqa, right? My friend who's a girl, my female friend, right? So, Sadiqa plus yeah, right? Yes and no. It's actually a little bit more complicated when it comes to words with the ta marbuta at the end, right? What we have to do is we have to modify the ta marbuta. In other words, we do something that is called untying it, right? And it becomes a ta. The ta marbuta becomes a ta. And a good way to remember it is sort of just that, like, the ta marbuta has like the ta built in almost. There's the two dots on top. So let's take Sadiqa, right? It has the ta marbuta. We must untie it, and it becomes, the ta marbuta becomes the ta, as you can see. Then we are able to add the possessive suffix for my, which is the ya, and the end result is sadiqati, sadiqti. Either pronunciation is good. And let's just use it in a sentence really quickly. Sadiqati tudarris ilm al-insan, right? My female friend teaches anthropology, or like the science of people, kind of. Alright, let's go on to the next, which is your. Now, unlike English, they have two kinds of yours. They have your when you're talking to someone directly who's a male, and your for a female. But they're very similar. So starting with your masculine, you're talking to your friend or something who's a guy. The possessive suffix is the kaf with a fatah on top. So let's just look at an example. So ma ism jadduka, or jaddka, right? What is the name of your grandfather? And you're asking a male, right? And you can, it gets a little tricky with this because you can pronounce it in a couple of ways. You can say jadduka or jaddek, which is more like colloquial and spoken Arabic. Now let's look at, we're going to do it with a word with a ta marbuta, ustadha, right? Female professor. Min wain ustadhatuka, or ustadhatek, right? Ustadhatuka, ustadhatek. And then we have your feminine. Same thing, kaf, but with kasra, right? So using the same thing as before, ma ism jadduki, or ma ism jaddik, as opposed to jaddak, right? And min wain ustadhatuki, or ustadhutik. Moving on, we have his, right? And this just takes the ha at the end, but it's pronounced with it has dhamma on it, so it's hu. So we have, using the word brother, right? أخوه ضابط في الجيش. أخوه, his brother, is an officer in the army. أخوه, or just أخو. And then we have mother. والدته تحب أن تكتب رسائل. And moving on to her, lastly, we have her. And it's similar to his. It takes the ha, but you just add a long alif to the end, right? And it is pronounced just ha. And we have والدها أو والدها متخصص في الترجمة. So her father is an expert or specialist in translation. And one more example with a noun with a tamarbuta, we're going to use موظفة, female employee, right? So هي تتكلم مع موظفتها. هي تتكلم مع موظفتها. And that is singular possessive pronouns. In another video, we will go over plural possessive pronouns like you all plural, or are or there. So stay tuned. Ma salama.